Hi there, hope you all are doing great. Today I am going to discuss about a very important topic, and that is preferred thinking system. Now this topic is very important in NLP, and once I discuss more on this, by the end of the topic you will realize that how important this topic is for our day-to-day life. As I discussed earlier, that whenever there is an external event, we come across an external event, that event gets registered in our mind after some filtration process. Now, whenever that event gets represented in our mind, it gets represented in three forms. They are in a visual mode or auditory mode or in a feelings mode. In NLP terminology, we tell it as a kinesthetic mode. See, we have two hands, right? But predominantly we use one hand for the primary activities and we use the other hand for less important work. You can be a left-hander or a right-hander, but this applies for both of these sort of people. Similarly, when we say that there are three modes by which the things get represented in the mind, but for individual, one of the mode is always predominant. That means for one person, the visual mode can be more predominant. For the other person, it can be sound or the auditory mode. And for another person, it can be the feelings mode. So one of the modes are predominant whenever the things get represented in the mind. A visual person is someone who actually, they always communicate what they see. Say for example, when they talk with you or when they communicate with you, basically there is a movie or set of pictures that is represented in their mind, and they communicate with you while seeing those pictures or in the form of movies. You might have seen that sometimes you interrupt people, and when you interrupt people, that person gets irritated and he says that why you are interrupting me, and it takes time for him to recollect what he was telling, because when he was communicating with you, it was in a form of movie. So when you interrupt that person, then that the link gets broken. So that picture is no longer there in front of his eyes. Most of the visual person will always use the word see. So he will be telling like this, that just try to see what I am telling. Although there is nothing to see when you are communicating through your words, but the visual person will mostly they use these sort of words. The auditory persons are more of those kind of people who love to listen. So they will listen and then they will communicate. You might come across, you might meet a friend and you can tell him that, okay, let's go for a movie. That person will he will repeat. He will say, oh, you want to go for a movie. There is no need to repeat at all, because you have already told the same words. But he will repeat because he's an auditory person. He will repeat because he wants to listen to that word first, and then only he can communicate. Similarly, for the kinesthetic person, that person is more feelings oriented. So whenever you ask him that how was the taste of the food, he will take a pause. He will try to feel, he will try to recollect that particular food, he will feel, and then he will communicate. So this is how the three modes or the three kinds of people you will come across: the visuals, auditory, or the kinesthetic people. Now, say you go to an office and your boss sends you a mail, okay? He sends you a mail and he is a visual person. He sends you a mail and with lot of instructions, and if you are an auditory person, so what mostly these auditory people will do, they will receive the mail, they will take a printout, and then they will carry the copy to the boss and tell, boss, please tell me what to do. The boss, being a visual person, he will say, can't you see, I have written everything in the mail, all the instructions are there in the mail. But the auditory person, the subordinate, tries to tell that you try to explain me what to do. Basically, a visual person always wants someone to show them what to do, whereas the auditory person want someone to tell them what to do. Neither of them are wrong. It is their preferred way of thinking. Now, if you can understand, or if you can understand then how the other person, their way of thinking, don't you think you can connect with them better? Say you go for a sales call and you want to sell this mouse. Now when you go to your client and the client is an auditory person and you try to show them a lot of brochures, do you think that your client will be convinced? But since he's an auditory person, if you try to tell him the benefits of this mouse, you tell him the feedbacks that you receive from the customers, or you make him to tell the benefits of this mouse, he will be more interested. You can connect with him better. Similarly, if your client is a visual person, you can connect better with him when you show him the brochures. For a kinesthetic person, if you can just hand over the mouse or ask him to feel the mouse or give the mouse in his hands, when he touches the mouse and he feels the ergonomics of this mouse, he will be more connected with you. So this is the benefit of knowing the preferred way of how the other person thinks. So hope you understand, and by now you have realized that how important it is to know the preferred way of thinking of the other person. It is also important that you learn or you know what is your preferred way of thinking, and also you need to know what is the preferred way of the thinking of the other person with whom you want to connect. Similarly, in the relationships also, if you know the preferred way of how your partner thinks, don't you think you can connect with your partner in a better way? So hope you understand or realize the importance of the preferred way of thinking. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.